Hello and welcome to Josh and Dante's podcast. I'm Josh Sanchez.
I'm Dante Fantuzzi.
And the first topic we're going to talk about is Jeff Fisher. Recently, the Rams signed Jeff Fisher to a multi-year contract when he was on the hot seat for the whole year. Dante, how do you feel about Jeff Fisher?
Speaking of Josh Fisher, think of a losing coach. Like you said earlier, he's close to breaking the record for most losses as a head coach or something like that.
He has 146 losses. One more loss, he will have the NFL record for most losses by a coach. How does this man have his job? Like, I am still shocked because a perfect example is Lovie Smith from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His first year, they had no one. They went 2-14. They drafted Jameis Winston. His job was to elevate Jameis Winston's game.
Wait. Before Jameis Winston, they had Mike Evans. They did go out and draft Mike Evans, who was going to be the complimentary wide receiver, which he is now, to Jameis Winston.
Yeah. And Jameis Winston and Mike Evans, they were teammates in Florida State. But his job was...
Mike Evans didn't go to Florida State, bro.
Yeah, he did.
He went to Texas A&M.
Yeah. My
he
fault,
was Johnny Manziel's wide receiver.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel, yeah. But I always think of... I don't know why. I always think of Winston and Evans. I don't know why. But yeah, his task was to develop these guys and improve the team from a 2-win season, in which he did. They improved 4 wins. They ended up going 6-10. And Lovie Smith, and in those games where they lost in the end of the season, they lost by a field goal or a touchdown or less.
Now, I don't mean to cut you off, Josh, but that's also include that they had Doug Martin, and he went off last year when they had Lovie Smith.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He had like 1,400 rushing yards.
Yeah, but his job, though, was to improve a 2-win team, and he did to a 6-10.
And he improved the passing game and the running game.
Yeah, and then he got fired after an improvement season. But Jeff Fisher can still keep his job, and he has not had his team has not won a playoff game since 2003. His team has not made the playoffs since 2008. The team that's been coached by Jeff Fisher, and this
what team was that?
It was the Tennessee Titans. And there's questions with him and his development with Vince Young, because you know how Vince Young, he kind of went off the radar as soon as he became his coach.
Right.
And my problem is why is he still around the league when he's been one of the worst coaches ever? But Lovie Smith actually improves his job and actually like increases his win total, and he gets fired from it. That's why I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, can we make the same argument for Mark Jackson when he was the head coach for the Warriors? Because he pretty much put that Warriors team together. He was the one that drafted Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. He put that team together. He got Andre Iguodala to sign over to the Warriors. But he ends up getting fired for Steve Kerr. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from Steve Kerr because he did, take the Warriors to the finals and did help them win that NBA finals. But can we make that same comparison is my question.
Yeah, you can make that same comparison. But I just don't like how certain coaches, that are doing a terrible job, whatever team they go to, they just do terrible.
Right.
And they continue to have a job while other coaches are actually doing well, get left out. They get the short way out of it. Like they get treated unfairly compared to them.
Now, I was watching ESPN the other day, and they had brought up this Rooney Rule, which is something I never heard of. And I mean, I'm a big time football fan. I love sports. It's just a rule that I never heard of. I believe that you printed out the rule for it, the explanation for it. Maybe if you can just read that to us and to our audience, just to give them a clear rule of what the Rooney Rule actually is.
Yeah, I have the Rooney Rule right here. According to ESPN, the Rooney Rule is a National Football League policy that requires league teams to interview minority candidates like African American, Hispanic, Asian, and so forth for head coaching and senior football operation jobs, such as general manager and president of a club. It is sometimes cited as an example of affirmative action though there was no quota or preference given to minorities in the hiring of candidates. My fault. Dante, how do you feel about this Rooney Rule?
Um,
Is it effective?
excuse me. Elaborate what you mean by effective to me.
Like, do you feel like African American coaches or other minority coaches, like, is it expanding? Do we see more African American coaches, head coaches, in the NFL, NBA, and so forth, compared to the white coach?
I don't have a for sure answer for that. I just feel as though since a lot of majority players in our leagues are black and or minorities, let me say it like that. They get hired because they've played the game. They know the game firsthand because they were on the court or on the field.
Which is a true statement, yeah.
So basically, in my point of view, is they're getting hired and their expectations are to make a turnaround faster than any other, white coach can make.
I have a quick question.
What's that?
You know the Jets coach, Todd Bowles?
Yeah.
Will he finish the season as a Jets coach? Give me your opinion.
I personally believe he would. I don't see why not. The only problem that the Jets have to me is just the quarterback play.
Yeah.
They have good wide receivers. They have a good running back in Matt Forte, who signed over in the offseason. They have a good line. They have a good defense. Maybe they can improve in the secondary a little bit because we have seen a decline of play in Darrelle Revis. But honestly, I just feel like their thing is just their quarterback play. I mean, we all know why Ryan Fitzpatrick was never that starter. He had a good season last year and broke personal records. But
yes, he did.
Then again, we see why other teams would never give him starter money. And that's what he wanted this year, and that's what they were pretty much forced to give him. Now, if I'm the Jets GM or I'm Todd Bowles, I'm trying to make and I'm trying to have a nice, good sit-down conversation to get a quarterback over. I wouldn't mind seeing Tony Romo getting traded to the Jets, or like Phillip Rivers or something. Although let me just state that I personally believe that the San Diego Chargers are much better than their record.
Yeah,
their defense has improved a lot since the previous years.
Mm-hmm.
I believe four seed the next 2-3 years they'll probably have playoff contentions. Maybe if Keenan Allen can stay healthy more and their defense continues to improve and Melvin Gordon continues to play the way he has this year, they're a playoff team.
Yeah, they are.
But back to the Jets though. I just think they need a quarterback. Excuse me. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing Tony Romo getting traded to the Jets. They could pull out a Sam Bradford type of deal, although I personally believe Tony Romo will always be better than Sam Bradford. Yeah. But they can make a trade with the Cowboys. Depending on how valuable he is to the team and how good the team would depend on what draft pick they get.
Okay, so you think Todd Bowles will be the coach for next season for the Jets?
Yes, I don't see why not.
If he gets fired, I repeat, I feel like I have respect for the Rooney Rule. I have seen more African American coaches in the National Football League now with Mike Tomlin.
Wait. One thing about Mike Tomlin is that when he got hired, we seen the impact that he made. We seen, I think, what was it, his rookie year or like his second year, third year into the league, he went out and won a Super Bowl.
I know.
I'm not sure if he was a player. I'm not too sure. But, the expectations that I believed he was faced, he exceeded.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. He's starting to get a bad rap in Pittsburgh, and they're starting the Steelers right now they're winning, so they're 7-5. But if they were when they were on that losing streak, if they were going to continue to lose, he would have been on the hot seat. And I treat him as the Packers coach Mike McCarthy. The Packers, he was not even in the hot seat when the Packers went 4-6. They weren't considered firing him. With Mike Tomlin, if the Steelers would end up losing, ended up not making the playoffs this year, I think they'll make the playoffs as a wild card team. But he was in the hot seat when they were having that losing streak. And I just think that African American coaches, like, it's been proven, like, they just have a shorter leash than the white coaches. And Jeff Fisher's a perfect example. You put Jeff Fisher, if Jeff Fisher, I think, was an African American, I think he wouldn't even have a job anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
And
I don't disagree with you.
I know, but like I respect the Rooney Rule, but I feel like it's forcing, like, it's making African Americans have like a shorter leash, and I don't like that. Like the Lovie Smith, my fault, example was the perfect example. Their team improved, and if he would have been their coach this year, I think they would have been in the same position they are with the other guys their coach. I just think that they need to change that. The NFL has to change that.
Right. I believe that there should be no such thing as a Rooney Rule. You ask me.
Yeah. They should
right.
want to hire minorities.
You're right. They should want to hire minorities, but I just don't see that it should be a rule for the simple fact that there's like, why does it matter if you're gonna get interviewed or hired for a job by the color of your skin?
Yeah.
If you're black, Puerto Rican, blue, green, yellow, I don't care.
Yeah, I was gonna
if
say
you're
that too,
able to do your job and do it well, and this is for just any work field. I don't think skin color should play into anything. But unfortunately, just the way that, everything is set up, it has to be. Whether it's basketball, football, hockey, soccer, tennis, anything. Why should there be a rule that you have to get interviewed by the color of your skin?
All right, and now moving on from the Rooney Rule, we're going to talk about the Eagles. And this year's draft, I know. I'm so fed up with the Eagles this year. I had a heated debate about my friend about who the Eagles should draft position-wise. He made this stupid claim, and I'm going to say stupid claim, that we should draft Christian McCaffrey from Stanford when we don't need a running back. I think we need it with that first pick, with the Vikings pick, because we don't get our pick. Let me make that clear to everyone listening here. We can't tank this year because the Browns have our pick because of the Wentz deal. I think the three positions we should focus on: wide receiver, defensive back, and offensive lineman. Because in this league, you need to have a stable line. Have to. And linemen go down like that. So you need depth and you need durability at the lineman position. And I think out of the three, it depends on what happens in the draft. Like if a lineman falls, it all depends on how the Minnesota Vikings finish out this year. Right now they're 6-6. I think they'll finish 8-8. Give us a mid-round pick. And I think with that mid-round pick, we can either get a defensive back, a wide receiver, or a lineman with that pick. All that claim about a running back is hogwash to me. And I'm sorry to put my friend on blast like that, but I was just so mad at him when he said that.
I mean, I can understand where your friend is coming from. Really, we have no running game. We're really relying on Darren Sproles to do other work when this man is in his mid-30s and he's not the same running back that he was. And just to clarify, he was never a 3-down running back. And we're using him as if he is a 3-down running back. We have, I can understand where we get the offensive lineman draft pick. But I think our running game declined since the loss of Lane Johnson, which is really his fault.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to put him on blast or anything like that. Yeah. But it was just an unfortunate situation that happened for him. I wish him best of luck. But my honest opinion, I would go defensive back first. I think our safeties are fine. Yeah. We need to draft a cornerback.
Best safeties.
I mean, honestly, we can't. I'm not gonna say best safeties.
Well, like one of the top safety
top
core.
3, top 5 safety
top
core
5 safety core in the league, which is pretty damn good.
Thinking about everything, you normally pick your defensive backs normally develop well. I mean, coming out of the draft, the only way you're gonna get a good lockdown cornerback is coming out of the draft. Yeah. As you can see, what's going on with
Josh Norman,
he's not the same lockdown defender. Even before him, when we signed Nnamdi Asomugha, he burnt us for our money. Yeah, he got burnt.
Rip-off.
Prime example from last year, Byron Maxwell. We paid him all this money. He got burnt. every other play.
Where is he now? Is he
with the Dolphins? With the Dolphins.
The Dolphins. You know how the Dolphins are.
And I mean, if you want to, and my argument is we have to draft a defensive back, and produce him, and
because I will repeat, because
develop
Jalen Mills, just give this man like another year to develop. I feel like he can turn out to be a nice cornerback in this league.
I believe he could, and it would have been better if we would have had him paired with Eric Rowe. I would never come to the understanding of why we trade him to the Patriots.
I mean, the Eagles, that's what we do. We make stupid moves. Lately, that's what we've been known for, is making
I can't say
moves.
It's the Eagles. I think it's Howie Roseman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Howie Roseman's the GM of the Eagles, so like that's why I'm saying Eagles in general,
right?
Because this man gave Chip Kelly the power not only to be the head coach, but also be like the head of like the moves as well for our team. And I think that was one of the dumbest moves ever in the Eagles franchise. Like, we traded LaShawn McCoy for Kiko Alonso, and Kiko Alonso is not even with us anymore. The Bills won that trade. We got rid of one of our best offensive players for a guy that only played one season. I think he even got hurt.
He did get hurt.
He did get hurt.
And he's hurt again this year.
And he's hurt again. Like, it was just a big waste. Like, come on.
Yeah, and, just to go back to the draft, I can't necessarily agree with everything Josh said with drafting a wide receiver. I think we get Deshaun Jackson in the free agency.
Yeah, it just depends on what we do, because the draft. Because my fault.
Right.
Yeah, because what happens is we have the free agency first and then the draft.
Yeah, so I believe if we can get Deshaun Jackson in the free agency, if we can sign him back, and if we can get another good, I'm not gonna say a great outside wide receiver, but somebody that's willing. Excuse me, not even willing, but somebody that can help Jordan Matthews in the slot, get open, create space, do what our current wide receivers cannot do. And that's something Deshaun Jackson can do.
Yeah,
and we need to. Yeah, his speed is his speed is still top notch in the league.
Like, you see that Cowboys game in Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
he was getting held in the first half, and then the one time he wasn't held, gone, 70-yard touchdown.
And we get two good outside receivers. That'll open up the middle for Zach Ertz, Jordan Matthews. I wish we still had Josh Huff.
Yes.
That's a player I believe we should have never released. I think, it was unfortunate on his end. Not the smartest move on his end as well. But I wish we still had him. He was somebody to be, when I thought of Josh Huff, I thought of Odell Beckham Jr.
I don't know about Odell.
No, I'm not
Come on
comparing
now,
them.
come on.
But the way that you can move these two players around the field, they can do many different things on the field. Josh Huff was able to, go out the slot, go into the slot, go into the play outside receiver, give you a couple running plays, and he still had that speed like Odell Beckham.
All right, I have another question.
I'm not comparing the two.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that that's messed up on my end to say he's as good as Odell.
No, because
he would
Odell,
never be.
Never
Odell
be.
is one of the I believe top 5 receivers in the league.
Chip Kelly was going to draft him in that first round
because he's an Oregon Duck.
No, he was LSU. Odell went to LSU.
Oh! I thought you were talking about
Josh Huff. No.
Josh Huff.
All right. Odell Beckham, the Giants were picked 10th. They picked Odell with that pick. We were like 2 picks down, and we were going to go with Odell if he was still available. But we didn't, and now here we are. But now here comes my...
Who did we take?
I don't really know, honestly. I think it was a bust. I think it was a defensive lineman. Because all of Chip Kelly's draft picks have been bust.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham was Andy Reid's pick.
Yeah.
Fletcher Cox was Andy Reid. Mm-hmm. Andy Reid got the guys were good now. The only good people we got out of free agency was Jenkins.
Ronnie McLeod.
Yeah, and Ronnie McLeod. Jenkins has elevated his game since he came to Philadelphia, which has been highly impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah. With the Eagles, like, I have a question. If Christian McCaffrey was on the board, would you take him first round?
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was mad. Maybe if he was a second or third round pick, yes. But here's the thing. Here's what I want the Eagles to do. We need to establish our line because when we were 3-0, Lane Johnson was there. We were able to protect Carson Wentz. We were running the ball efficiently. And then once Lane Johnson was away, our line, we're down to third string lineman. That's why we're not running the ball. I want to see next year us have a stable line, and then we'll see how our running backs are. Then we'll see how really good Wendell Smallwood is. Because if Wendell Smallwood can run on a good offensive line, like a decent offensive line, then we keep him as our running back. If he does not get the holes and he stinks, then we go running back next draft. I mean, this draft is so heavy in running backs.
It is.
Which I agree with. I agree with my friend on that
from
point.
Stanford and
don't forget, don't sleep on the bull from Wisconsin, Chris Clement. That man runs hard. He overcame a gruesome neck injury that held him out his whole junior year. This year he comes back, runs over 1,000 yards. He'll probably be a late round draft pick, who I think the Eagles should draft later in the draft. We'll find the same amount of talent. He just doesn't get talked about because he had injuries. All right, now moving on from the Eagles.
So wait, let me ask you a question then.
All right.
Since we're talking about the draft, who gets the first round draft pick and who did they take?
Eagles?
No, not the Eagles.
First overall?
Yeah.
I don't really know names specifically, but
I'm saying Cleveland Browns, and he take Deshaun Watson.
They're going to take the shot. Now, I think Cleveland Browns, they get a defensive end out of Texas A&M. I forget his name. He's a beast. I think the Bears will get Deshaun Watson with the third overall pick. I mean, either way, though, it's like bam, bam. It's like close. Mm-hmm. All right, we can now moving on. We're talking about college now. As you guys know, the college football playoff, they had their 4 teams. Dante, do you think Penn State got snubbed?
This is a tough question.
I mean, it's very tough because I've been thinking about this all weekend because I looked at the playoff. I was like, I mean, yeah, Ohio State beat Michigan,
right,
but I feel like they should either be the 4 or they should be out. And I mean, I know there's a lot of Ohio State fans who are probably bashing me right now as I'm saying that. But Penn State has 2 things on you. They beat you head-to-head, and they won the Big Ten championship, which is the toughest, this year, the toughest conference in football. Yeah, they got blown out by Michigan, but you can also say, like, Ohio State, they almost lost to Michigan. They also almost lost to Wisconsin. They almost lost to other teams in the Big Ten. Because each week, some weeks you have it, some weeks you don't have it.
You're right, but I don't mean to interrupt you at all, Josh. Do you see the key word that you're saying, though? Almost. Almost isn't a loss. They beat these teams. Yes, they almost lost. But at the end of the day, they still got that dub. They still got the W.
Yeah.
So it's not, almost isn't going to carry you into the loss column.
Mm-hmm.
That almost is just a word that's just thrown out there.
Yeah, like, my fault. Let me reiterate my point. When they created this college football playoff, they said that conference championships matter. It's a big thing. That's what they said going in. That's why I'm so like.
Although I do feel that there should be more teams in the than just the top 4 teams, because I feel like there are better teams. I mean, I feel like it'll be better competition if there was at least like a top 6 or a top 8.
Yeah, and then for 6, first 2 get by.
Yeah, or if you're gonna do 6, first 2 get by. Because I'm tired of seeing either Ohio State or Alabama in the damn national championship game.
I know.
It's like every other year they're there and they win it. I'm tired of it. I mean, I want to see other teams. I want to see better competition.
Like I just feel like the committee, like, they just contradicted what they said, like what they meant, because they really, like, when they said going into it their first year, they said we're gonna look at conference championships as a big thing, and Penn State, yeah, you can say they got blown out by Michigan, but they won, like, in their division, you have Ohio State, Michigan, and the rest of the pack, and Penn State came on top out of all of them. And that's the reason why, like, I'm saying my point. I mean, they want the 4 best teams. Ohio State is one of the best 4 teams in the country. But you're going to contradict what you meant, like, what you first said. That's why the committee, like, I'm a little upset about it, because I'm like, they just want the 4 best teams. They don't care about conference championships or anything like that. Because, I mean, Washington definitely, even though their schedule is light, Washington won the Pac-12 conference. They beat ranked number 8 Colorado. They deserve to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson, they won the ACC. They beat Louisville. They beat I'm trying to think who else they beat. That was good. I can't think of it right now. But they just beat a Virginia Tech team that was ranked. They won. They're in. Alabama undefeated. They're in. Ohio State did not win the Big Ten. Lost to Penn State, and they're in. I mean, they are definitely a top 4 team, which the
Speaking of Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State's definitely a top 4 team.
Okay.
But I mean, Penn State. I mean, yeah, Penn State. I think they're going to the Rose Bowl. So Penn State, I
think their next game is the Rose Bowl game.
So if the Rose Bowl's nice. So so like they're not getting robbed. But I mean, I don't like how the playoff committee contradicted what they said.
Right, I agree.
All right, but now going back to it, who do you think wins the semifinal games? You have Alabama and Washington, and you have Clemson and Ohio State.
I'm taking Clemson with the upset, and I guess Alabama.
I think
Alabama's undefeated.
I couldn't agree with you more, actually. Like Deshaun Watson and Clemson. Let me reiterate. Deshaun Watson is one of the best players in the country. The reason why he's not getting as much credit as he did last year was because last year he had a great season, and then this year they're like, oh, we're expecting the same old Deshaun Watson. And in the beginning,
a lot of people thought he would just be a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. But like in the beginning of the year, like Clemson's offense wasn't the same.
Yeah,
but I mean, they played a tough Auburn team in Auburn. Right. At the time, Clemson was ranked top 4, and Auburn was ranked 15th. Mm-hmm. And you go into Auburn and win, but it's not the win that the committee wanted them to. They wanted them to just be a shootout, but it actually turned out to be a defensive battle.
Right.
But yeah, I think Clemson's gonna upset Ohio State. I think Deshaun Watson's going to prove to the league. And whenever Clemson is the underdog, they find a way to win, which is just they won 5 of their last 6 when they've been the underdog in like national championship or like BCS games. So I think Clemson will take care of business. Alabama, I expect a blowout on Washington. Even though I'm not
going to say a blowout.
I would love if Washington upsets Alabama. That would be the upset of the century. Mm-hmm. Because Alabama's undefeated. Everyone's saying roll Tide, roll this, roll that. If Washington comes in,
they would have beat if that's an upset. What do you think would be a bigger upset? The Texas Longhorns versus USC, or Washington and Alabama?
Washington, Alabama.
Really?
Yeah, because
but everybody was on the USC bandwagon.
Yeah, everyone.
And we're talking about
that's
back
how
when
fans are, though.
We're talking about back when Texas had Vince Young, and USC had Liddell White. Not Jamar Charles. Yeah, Texas had Jamar Charles.
I'm getting what you're saying.
USC had
I get what you're saying. So,
Reggie Bush as well.
Yeah, Reggie and Reggie Bush won the Heisman too.
Yeah, that was the same year.
Yeah, but I would take Alabama and Washington only because Alabama's stature, like the way how they just keep winning and winning and winning. And Washington, people are saying the only reason why Washington's in is because of their schedule, and they're saying they don't give them any credit. So I mean that's just why, and it's more recent. Like I was also a lot younger when that championship happened, so I didn't.
Yeah, we both were younger, but I still remember watching that game like it was
that game was
I remember sitting in the living room watching that game, talking. I was watching that game with my dad.
Oh man,
literally watching that game, and he was not upset with me, but he wanted me to go to bed. But I just didn't go to bed because I wanted to watch the game.
All right, now. Another question. Who do you think is going to win the Heisman?
Jabril Peppers.
Why?
I think it's time for a change.
Like defensive-wise?
Yes. I'm tired of seeing offensive players win the Heisman. I think Jabril Peppers is the best all-around athlete coming out this draft.
Yeah, you know I think is going to draft him? Carolina.
Yeah,
if Carolina tanks and ends up 4-12, they will draft Peppers.
I just don't want him to go there.
If he goes to Carolina, they're gonna be right back to where they were. Well, not exactly back because their line needs a lot of work.
But they're gonna have a better corner than what they have now.
And he can play anything. Man. He can play safety, linebacker, corner.
I just wish
wide receiver.
I just wish we were able to get him. That's probably the only player I want. I want Jabril Peppers to come to Philly.
That's how I felt last year with Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, we traded up and got Wentz, and I'm happy with that.
Right.
But I wanted I wanted Ezekiel Elliott. When I saw his highlight tape,
So since we're talking about Ezekiel Elliott, right?
Oh, man.
How dominant he is today
Yes.
behind that Dallas O-line. You think he still produces behind that Eagles O-line?
Not as much as he's doing, but I think he'd be doing a lot better than what our running backs are doing
now.
Yeah, I feel like instead of 1,200 yards he has or 1,300 yards, he'll probably have like 850.
Close to 9.
850, like 7 touchdowns instead of 12.
All right.
Like that's like he wouldn't be as dominant, but he would still be like, you would know Ezekiel Elliott's coming.
Right.
And even my friend compared Ezekiel Elliott to Christian McCaffrey. I'm like, no, come on now,
no.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Christian McCaffrey, I have a lot of respect for him, but I
think he's gonna be a bust.
I think he is too.
I think he's gonna come into the league and be a bust. Who I do like coming out the draft though at the running back position is Leonard Fournier. If this man can stay healthy, whichever team he goes to,
and he's sitting out this year because of the draft. That's why he's missed a couple games too.
Right. Ooh, wait, because of the draft?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They said that on ESPN.
He's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt, but like there's games where he can come in and actually like play. But
so he doesn't want to hurt his draft stock.
Yeah, he don't want to hurt his draft stock. Like they're having like a discussion about whether he's going to play in the bowl game when they play against they play against Louisville.
So he pulled the Ben Simmons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pulling the Ben Simmons. Same
exactly.
school, same everything.
Exactly. Pulling the Ben
Different
Simmons.
sport though.
Different sport. Same mindset. Oh man.
So who do you think your Heisman candidate? Well, who do you pick as your Heisman winner?
A lot of people are going to say Lamar Jackson. I think he's not going to win it because of the last 2 games he's played. Heisman, you got to be dominant the whole season.
Right.
My fault. And I have a good argument because when he was dominant, who were they playing?
They weren't playing.
They're playing Syracuse. Like
hold on. Shout out to Syracuse though. I have a friend that does go there. Is on the football team. Jamal Custis.
Is he the guy that got hurdled by Lamar Jackson?
No, he plays offense.
Okay.
He plays offense.
I was about to say, we're going to call him up right now, and we're going to say, yo, you're on his highlight tape, the highlight of the century. Oh, man, but I have a lot of respect for Peppers. I think he'll finish either 3rd or 2nd. The Oklahoma quarterback, no. Because
so if Jabril Peppers finishes 2nd, who's 1 and 2?
Oh, you mean 3rd? 2 would be Lamar Jackson, or 2. Like it's gonna be. I have a feeling Lamar Jackson's gonna win it just because of his year. He's had like the best statistical season ever by a quarterback.
Right.
I mean, I would like Deshaun Watson to win it.
But do you think they go by statistics?
That's the thing. I don't know if they do because lately it's only been the player that's been in the playoff that's won the Heisman. The past couple Heismans, it was Derrick Henry from Alabama last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, because Deshaun Watson's had back-to-back nice seasons at Clemson. Like, this year he's going to throw over 4,000 yards, over 40 touchdowns, run for close to 500 yards. Mm-hmm. So, like, he has the stats. So, and he's in the playoffs. So he has. If he wins against Ohio State, I think he'll win it. But I would like to see, like you said, like a defensive change. But my heart's telling me Deshaun Watson because I just love his game. And I think whoever team he gets drafted on he's gonna try his best to change the team around. It's gonna come down to ownership and the coach to see how he'll grow as a player.
Right.
Because I feel like it's all about coaching when it comes to development. And that's another topic, but we'll talk about that another day about Coach Peterson.
For the Eagles?
Yeah, do you think he's gonna be a good coach for Carson Wentz?
I think he will be able to.
All right, we'll talk about it now then. All right.
Well, all right, since we're going to talk about it now then,
yeah.
I think Doug Peterson has a lot of growing to do as a football coach.
Yes, he does.
Has a lot of self-evaluating himself to do. Because I believe as an NFL head coach, I don't think you should call out your players like the way he called out Zach Ertz. If you're going to, if you feel some type of way, we have to keep it inside. We just can't come straight to the media about it.
But the thing is, though, with that is, like, he's also had criticism when he doesn't speak up. Like, when we lost to the Cowboys, like, instead of saying, like, yo, I messed up, he was just like, oh, we have to watch. I watched his postgame. Every time we lose, we have to watch the tape and see how we improve.
Right. I mean, that's for every team, though.
I know, but, like, like the media, you can go one way with attacking him and the other way with attacking him.
Right.
I've been saying this for a while now. I mean, yeah, Andy Reid, everyone's saying he has to go. He's been here long, but you see Marvin Lewis and what he's doing. I think Marvin Lewis is gonna leave.
I think Marvin Lewis is time for him.
Yeah, I think it's time for him to go.
It's time for a change.
But man, I wish Andy Reid had
Cincinnati.
this situation with Carson Wentz. I feel like he would develop Carson Wentz.
So wait, let me ask you a question since we're talking about coaching.
Yeah.
Do you think Hugh Jackson gets fired at the end of the year?
Hugh Jackson,
Head coach of the Cleveland Browns?
no, only
No?
because it's his first year,
First year?
coach.
Okay, so he's an African American coach.
Yeah.
They let him slide after the first year.
Yeah, it's his first year. I'm talking about like his second year. If the Browns play like the same way they played this year that they play next year, Hugh Jackson will get retired. Well, not retired. He'll get fired. My fault. He'll get fired from the Cleveland Browns.
I mean, really, honestly, if the Browns... Okay, I'm going to just try and sum it up like this. When he was with Cincinnati had one of the best offenses in the game. Right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I feel like it's going to take a few years for him to find those same matching pieces that the Cincinnati Bengals have.
Yes.
Because, honestly, they don't have an Andy Dalton, and they don't have an A.J. Green.
Yeah,
they don't have a Tyler
Who's their
Eifert.
quarterback?
We don't even know who their quarterback is. And they don't have a Giovanni Bernard / Jeremy Hill. So it's going to take a few years for them to find those pieces that he had in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion, you know?
Yeah, I agree with your opinion. I do. I wish Cleveland, I hope they improve next year. 4-win team, even though that's kind of a stretch, but I feel like they can do it.
All right, so let me ask you a question now.
All right.
Terrell Pryor is an upcoming free agent in the next year. Do you think this Eagles make a little swoop? You get it, swoop?
Yeah, that swoop. Yeah, we do fly, man. I feel you. We fly.
Do we get a swoop and pick up Terrell
Pryor? We're
Pryor?
going to swoop down, and we're going to try to attempt to get Terrell Pryor. We're going to get that
and
worm.
Then we get
that mice.
And we get Deshaun Jackson as well.
Yeah.
And we still have Jordan Matthews.
Yeah, because right now we got 2 mice. And we're the eagle, man. We got to get them. We're going to get that mouse. Or mice, whatever the heck they are.
Right. Wait, we talking about Cleveland?
Well, I mean, that's kind of dumb with Cleveland.
I mean, no. I mean, like, are you calling Cleveland mice?
No. I'm
about to say, because they're dogs. They're dogs.
Yeah. Dog pound.
I mean, honestly, if we were to get Terrell Pryor and Deshaun Jackson in the same free agency,
that would be, oh my God.
Then really we'd go, I think we go defensive back in the draft, and it'll be up to our running game to see how our season's going to be.
Stable.
I think it'll be. I mean, we're going to have Lane Johnson back.
I mean, Peters old.
But I believe Jason Peters has like another year or 2 in him.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey plays only good when when he's surrounded around other good players.
I agree with that.
And
100%.
Brandon Brooks has so far lived up to his money.
Yep.
To what we paid him, he's lived up to it. The only problem that we'll have is just left guard. And it's not even gonna be hard to find a left guard, honestly.
Because every position in the lineman in the line is huge.
Right.
Speaking of huge shout out to the 76ers today for winning.
Ooh, look at that big
ending that 23-game road losing streak. Joel Embiid, did not have the best offensive game. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 5 of 15 shooting, 0 from 3. 5 from 3. But man, he still impacts the game. 4 blocks, 3 steals. This guy already wants to enter in the 3-point contest, and now Defensive Player of the Year in the future, maybe. Man, this future's so bright for the Sixers. I just can't wait for January when Ben Simmons makes his debut and runs the point. I'm so excited. And then we get Josh Jackson, our shooting guard forward.
You're big on this guy.
Future is bright. I'm going to talk about Josh Jackson because, man, have you seen his dunks? This man has potential.
No. So you like Josh Jackson.
Yes.
But I like Lonzo Ball.
I mean, I got to look at
UCLA produces good guards. And if you want to take examples,
Russell Westbrook.
We're going to go Russell Westbrook and Drew Holiday.
Yep. I mean, Drew Holiday.
Did Derek Collison come out of UCLA too?
I think so. I mean, we'll double check that.
All right, let me look that up.
But I mean, again, man, going back to Joel Embiid while Dante looks it up. Joel Embiid what I've seen from this guy is just nothing but excellence. And he did have a bad game against the Nuggets, but you saw how he reacted. He knew that he had to play better, and that's what I like to see from a superstar of a team. He has the talent. He is going to carry this Philadelphia franchise. Him, Ben Simmons, Okafor. Noel, he's going to start playing now in Philly, but I think we should, I hope Noel does good so teams can gain interest in him and we can trade him because he wants out of Philadelphia.
Who knows Noel?
Yeah, Nerlens Noel wants out.
Yeah.
Because he's always been talking
already told you what I do with
He
Nerlens
even
Noel.
said he wants out.
Right. And just to confirm, Darren Collison is from UCLA.
Look at that.
And
look at that.
He's another good guard that adds to the good guard list that are coming out of UCLA. So let's go Sixers, Lonzo Ball.
I'll look at his highlight tape.
All right,
We'll
talk
about
you
him.
do that.
We'll have a little segment.
You're right. Matter of fact, our next podcast, we're going to have a whole segment / topic on Lonzo Ball and why he should come to the Philadelphia
and Josh Jackson.
Sixers. All right, come on.
And Josh Jackson.
All right. Maybe it'll happen if the Lakers could fall out the top 3. Because remember, we get the pick of the.
I'm telling you, the Lakers are going to fall off. They're due to fall off.
At the top 3?
Well, no. We're going to get their pick this year. Because right now, they're at such a fast start. I hope they continue to win games now, and then all of a sudden they hit that wall and they just go down.
I mean, but I want them to win though, so they can fall out the top 3.
Yeah, but the thing is, we also want that top 10. Like, we want them to be bad, but not bad enough where it's their pick.
Right. Okay.
But we get a decent pick for it.
Yeah, right.
Man, that's pretty much how I feel about the Sixers and everything.
Oh, but I already told you my opinion on Nerlens Noel though.
Yeah, I know.
I sent him to the Warriors.
I mean, but who like for Klay Thompson? But then we had to give up picks and other stuff.
I mean, but think about it though. That big 3 or big 4, whatever you want to call the Warriors, they're not all gonna stay together.
Yeah, Curry is a free
agent. You have
agent.
to still pay Curry. You still have to pay Klay Thompson, and you're still gonna have to pay Draymond Green.
All right, but what?
But I can't see Kevin Durant taking a pay cut.
The only people that they have to pay in the next. They have to give Stephen Curry the money he deserves. Kevin Durant has the my fault. I'm gonna tell you their contracts because Draymond Green just signed a deal, so he's good for 3 more years. Mm-hmm. Same with Thompson. Thompson has 2 more years left. 2 or 3 more years left in his contract.
I thought he becomes a free agent at the end. Oh
no, he signed a deal recently.
Right.
It's Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry right now is getting paid less than Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Kevin Durant. So Stephen Curry, he's gonna be at the top. He's gonna get his money. He deserves it. 2-time MVP, best 3-point shooting in the past couple years that I've ever seen, and anyone's ever seen.
Honestly, out of that top 4, top 3, whatever you want to call them, only player I see taking a pay cut is Steph Curry, just to keep all those players together.
But yeah, I know. But I think Steph Curry deserves the money. I mean, also though, the salary cap is boosting. It's getting higher and higher each year. So that's going to help the Warriors. Kevin Durant has the option.
I think it'll help every team in the league.
Yeah, it is. But Kevin Durant has the option to opt out. So if he wins a championship, he might opt out and go to another team. Probably go back to OKC. Probably.
No, he's not allowed back in OKC.
Yeah, I know.
Russell Westbrook will punch that man in his face and put him into a coma.
Speaking of Russell Westbrook, we gotta talk about him just for a little bit, man. This man,
Russell MVP,
yes,
MVP. I'm calling it right now. Beginning of the season, he's gonna be the NBA Kia MVP.
Yeah, Kia
for the 2016-2017 league.
Yeah. Man, this man's averaging a triple-double. And you know how NBA statistics go. If he stays at that triple-double range for like another month, it's going to take he can take a night where he gets 8 rebounds. It won't go down.
He could take a night where he gets 0 rebounds. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere but he has to keep this up just for like another month, and then his stats will just literally stay the same for like the rest of the year, unless he gets hurt. But
I believe he's going to produce as he always does.
All right. Well, that ends our segment with basketball. Now we're going to move on to our last part, which is the weekly NFL predictions. Starting off with, tonight's game, the Chiefs and Raiders.
And just to let you guys know, me and Josh are putting in this work. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 1:30 in the morning. We're going to give a shout-out to the Chiefs. Again, they just find a way to win games, and they did it tonight. Tyreek Hill, man. Touchdown reception. Punt return for a touchdown. Defense steps up. held Derek Carr to under 200 yards, 14 of 31 passing, a QB rating of 52.3. This is by far his worst
performance of the year.
Worst performance ever. I don't know how the Chiefs did. I mean, yeah, they're
Worst
an
performance of
Arrowhead.
the year, hands down.
Arrowhead's the low-key 12th man no one talks about. Man, those fans go nuts.
I think that the Chiefs have a very good secondary.
Yes.
And with Tama Hali and Justin Houston applying pressure on the quarterbacks makes it tough for any quarterback. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, or Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck.
Yeah, Tom Brady a couple years ago when he went into Arrowhead, they got blown out by the Chiefs.
Yeah, that was
and then they were talking
week
about
two.
Yeah, and then they were talking about
it was week 4. I'm lying because they went 2-2, yeah. And I was one of the people that said, I'm gonna always regret this. Tom Brady has to hang up those cleats. After that, the man went ballistic. After that, God. I remember that conversation with my brother in the barbershop. Oh man, I'm messing with him.
That's
I'm giving him hell. I'm giving him hell. I'm making his face go from Puerto Rican brown to red, giving him hell, saying it's time for Tom Brady to hang up the cleats.
Oh my goodness!
What happens after he won the Super Bowl that year?
Yep,
won the Super Bowl.
That's what happens. All right, now moving on. 1:00 slate. First game, Redskins in Philly. Who do you got, Dante?
I think this is a must-win game for the Birds.
Yeah, must-win game for the Birds. We need to have that statement win of the season. And if we can end the Redskins' playoff hopes, the Giants' playoff hopes,
I'd be much more satisfied.
I would be satisfied because we're not going to make the playoffs. Next, you have the Colts and Texans. Texans are playing in Indianapolis. Indianapolis is playing great football, but they blew out the Jets last week. They're coming hot.
I'm taking the Colts with this pick. I like Andrew Luck. I like the whole team is coming back healthy off this bye week. And last week the line played a lot better actually. Andrew Luck didn't get sacked. I think more than 3 times.
The Jets though.
Yeah, but remember though.
Oh yeah.
The Jets have a really good defensive line.
Yes, they do.
And they have a really good front eight.
They had the game against the Patriots, but
the Jets have a really good front eight. So from last week's performance, I'm giving a lot of credit to that offensive line for protecting Andrew Luck, and I'm taking Andrew Luck again this week.
Yeah, because Brock Osweiler, my goodness, at first I wasn't believing what you're saying. I've watched him these past couple weeks, man, awful. He does not deserve his money. So I got the Colts blowing out the Texans.
I'm not gonna go with a blowout because remember the Texans do have a good defense.
Yeah, they do. But they don't have J.J. Watt. But they still find a way.
Taking the Colts.
Houston. Oh, you got the Bengals at Cleveland. Battle of Ohio.
Wow, didn't we just finish talking about these teams?
Yes, we just finished talking about both of these teams.
I actually didn't even know they were playing this week.
Yeah,
against each other.
This is the battle for Ohio.
I'm taking the Bengals.
The Bengals. Yeah, I mean, they had a great win against the Eagles, but the Eagles, they weren't really trying. I think this game is going to be close. I feel like the Browns are going to put up a good fight in this one. Mm-hmm. I think the Browns are going to have a fourth quarter lead and then lose it. I think the Bengals will win. I'm saying 27 odd score, like 27-23 Bengals.
I don't even think the Browns are the worst team in the league.
I don't even think they are either. I think the 49ers are.
The 49ers are just atrocious.
They got that lucky first week win. One thing I learned.
They got that one lucky win against
Carlos
the Rams.
Hyde. Look at his stats. Week 1, Carlos Hyde's the best running back in football. Everything else, awful.
They're running him to the ground.
Yeah, I know.
They're running that man to the ground. And it's bad enough he can't stay healthy before Chip Kelly gets there. So, come on, Chip. Your best player, you're running your best player to the ground. Think about it, bud.
Next one. Broncos at Tennessee. Who do you got?
This is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really good game.
Because you got a high-powered offense versus a high-powered defense.
And I'm not even going to sleep on the Tennessee Titans defense at all.
Yeah, I know. No one talks about it.
Nobody does, and I'm not sleeping on them. This game, the Broncos are home, right?
Nah, Tennessee.
Tennessee's home.
That's what I'm saying.
Which makes it even tougher pick. My heart says Denver. And I'm going to go Denver. This is a must-win game for Denver. They are third in the division behind
the Raiders
and the Chiefs.
But the Raiders just lost. So if the Broncos win, they'll be tied with the Raiders for second place in the division.
No, they're both 10-3, aren't they?
No, the Chiefs and the Chiefs and the Raiders had the same record going in. This game was better.
No. Their record is the same record now.
Let me double check that just to make sure. Broncos are 8-4.
The Broncos are 8-4. So this
The
is why this
Chiefs
is
and Raiders.
yeah. This is why this is a must-win game for them because they need to stay in that division race.
If they win, they'll be a game back.
But I believe that the Raiders were 10-2 going into the game, and the
Chiefs were 9-3. So now it's
now it's 10-3, 10-3, 8-4.
There you go. So now we got it.
So I'm going with Denver just because this is a must-win game.
And the good teams always find a way to win the must-win games.
Yep.
If this is how I'm gonna say, just like I said with Atlanta this last week, depending on how this game goes, will dictate how the Broncos season will go.
I still think Atlanta is gonna come out that division.
You still do?
I still do. It's gonna be a toss-up between them and Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean,
out of all teams, we would really sitting here talking about Tampa Bay winning that division.
I know.
That's the first time we've actually discussed that.
Besides Lovie Smith.
Right?
But yeah, I got the Broncos winning this one, only because Tennessee, they're a young team. I just feel like they're a year away.
Mm-hmm.
And the Broncos, they've been here, done that. I think the Broncos will win. Next, we got Cardinals at Miami, the Dolphins. The Dolphins just got walloped 38-6.
Taking the Cardinals.
Baltimore.
Taking the Cardinals.
That's what the Dolphins do. As soon as people start talking about them being a playoff team, they lose. So I got the Cardinals.
They tank.
Yep.
Like your favorite word,
Ryan
tank?
Tannehill has to go. I think he's done.
I don't even think Ryan Tannehill is a NFL starting quarterback.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not. And I don't know why Miami continues to stick
I just think he's a good backup quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know what they see that, we're not seeing as fans of the game because this man is I don't even want to say what's on my mind right now.
Next, you got Lions and Bears at Detroit. Lions are hot. I got the Lions.
Taking the Lions.
Steamrolling the Bears.
Yep.
Matt Barkley's their quarterback. The Bears, come
Mm-hmm.
on. Steelers at Buffalo.
Going to be a good game, but I'm going with the Steelers.
Yep, I am too. Buffalo, whenever it comes close, they're just an 8-8 football team. That's what I see Buffalo. And it stinks because I like LaShawn McCoy. I like what they're doing with Tyrod Taylor and LaShawn McCoy.
LaShawn, please come back to Philly, bud. We need you.
Both of them can ball. They can really ball.
We need you ASAP, my man.
Next, you got Chargers at Carolina. I got San Diego beating Carolina. I think Carolina's season's done, and they're going to play like it's done.
Nope. All right, let me say this. If Luke Kuechly comes back this week, I'm taking Carolina. But if not, I'm going with the Chargers. Luke Kuechly, we can see how much of an impact he makes on that defense.
Yeah, I know.
Look what the Chiefs did to them the Chiefs, the Seahawks.
Why? Like the Carolina Panthers can do exactly what the Dallas Cowboys did: tank, go 4-12, get a top 5 pick. Cowboys get Ezekiel Elliott. Panthers get Peppers. Oh my! And it completely changes their team around.
Come on now, I want Peppers.
I know, but he ain't
stop
coming
saying
to
that,
Philly.
please.
He's
Stop
not
saying
coming
that.
to
Please
Philly.
stop saying that.
All right, next you got the Vikings and the Jaguars, 2 struggling teams. Jaguars
I'm taking the Jaguars with the upset pick of the week. Upset pick of the week.
I hope they do, but I got Minnesota only because Jaguars, man, they're a huge disappointment, and they're going to continue to be a disappointment in this league. I'm tired of seeing the same teams in the South.
But have you noticed though, the Jaguars will tank all year. The end of the year, they'll beat the team that has a chance to win. That has a chance to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they beat them to end their hopes.
I hope
because of the Jaguars.
I hope they do. Jets and 49ers. What a boring game. This is not the battle for a pick because right now the 49ers have the second pick, Jaguars have the third, then Jets have the fourth.
Who has the first? Chicago?
Yeah. No, Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland. I'm gonna have to go with the Jets just because they have more.
Yeah, more weapons.
No, you know what?
More talent.
Yeah.
It just comes down to talent.
They just have more talent than the Cleveland Browns.
Next, you have the Falcons and Rams.
Falcons.
They need a bounce back win. The way how they lost to the Chiefs, they lost on a 2-point conversion.
Yep.
Falcons bounce back win.
And Jeff Fisher's gonna break that record.
And Jeff Fisher's gonna break the record for most losses by an NFL quarterback, and this man is
Quarterback
still
or head coach?
Oh, my fault, head coach, my fault. And I'm just so excited to talk about it that I just throw a dead bird or something. Jeff Fisher,
Swoop.
the swoop. Jeff Fisher. I don't even.
Wait,
he's
bro.
in Los Angeles. Did you hear the stuff he did with Ed Dickerson?
Yeah, him and
Ed
an LA Ram are great. Why are you arguing with an LA Ram great?
It's like Michael
Arguably
Jordan.
gonna be one of the greatest running backs to ever go down in NFL history. Why are you arguing with this man? Why?
It's like the Chicago Bulls coach arguing with Michael Jordan. Like, come on, man. Ed Dickerson's the best player in their history.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
And this man still has a job, 2-year deal.
It's a shame.
Have fun, LA, dealing with Jeff Fisher for 2 more years. All right,
Have fun.
moving on.
Wait, Josh. Can I just ask you some question? Is this gonna be our new thing? Swoop.
Yeah, swoop. We're going for it.
That's our new thing. Swoop.
Instead of fly, Eagles fly, we're going to swoop. That's what Eagles are going to do. All right, Saints at Tampa Bay.
Saints, Tampa Bay. Ooh, I'm rolling with the Bucks, baby.
Yeah, I am too. Their
Famous
defense,
Jameis.
and their defense is playing
Couldn't
tough.
throw all over that defense. That Saints secondary. Who
God,
do they
you saw what the
have?
Lions did to him. Oh,
Gee,
my
I think I could go back there and probably make a difference.
goodness. I don't know about that.
All right, I might try and get a big hit on Mike Evans.
we did play football this week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, shout out to everybody that came out, played football with us. It was a good time, good experience.
All right, next we got Seahawks at Green Bay. Against the
Who's home?
Packers.
It's a good game actually. That's the 8:00 game, right?
No, that is the 4:25.
Oh yeah, the Redskins and Dallas game is 8:00.
Dallas and Giants.
Oh my goodness, I'm all over the place.
Now you're good.
It's 1:41 in the morning. Please forgive us. Listen, me and Josh are out here working and grinding.
Working and grinding. That's
But
what
I'm gonna go with the Packers in this game. This is a must-win game for them. I still believe even if the Seahawks take a L, they will still be.
They got the division wrapped up. Seattle.
Yeah, I mean they might have to win maybe a game or two.
Yeah, but
after the Packers lost, just to wrap up the division.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the Packers. Still believe the Seahawks will take a top 2 spot. Probably get that first week bye.
I got the Packers as the 6th seed in the playoffs. They just find a way. When things go bad, they're just like the Patriots. They find a way to just get in.
Yep.
And as long as you get in, you'll find a way to win. Next, you have Sunday Night Football. Dallas at the Giants. I got Dallas winning this game. All I see on ESPN is our rematch. And JPP's out. Man, Dallas going to run all over the Giants.
This is going to be a great game.
Great game for Eagles fans because I believe the Eagles go down, Washington and New York, you're coming with us. You're going to swoop down with us.
Swoop! Talking about the Giants, I had sent the link to my cousin last week. And he's a big-time Giants fan. And I believe last week we went against the Giants, and the first thing he texted me is, "Why are you hating on the Giants? Why are you hating?" I took the Steelers over the Giants, and then my reaction was, "I took the Giants." I apologize. This is gonna be a really good game, but just because the Giants took the first game, Dallas is steamrolling, and they have no JPP. This is to my cousin Chucho. I'm not hating. I'm just going with the steamroll. I'm going with the hype in Dallas right now.
Yes.
And I mean, it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be a shootout game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a shootout.
Because I don't know what it is, man. Dallas defense, I don't even know. They have injuries, everything, and they still shut down people. I don't know what. It's all about coaching, and their coach does not get enough credit.
Yeah, Jason Garrett, the defensive coordinator.
No, he's the head coach. It's that old guy. You know what I'm talking about. He was the coach for the Lions when they went 0-16. That's their defensive coordinator. That's why he's not getting any head coaching job.
I thought Jim Schwartz was the head coach that year.
Nah.
No?
Nah.
My apologies. But yeah, I'm rolling with the Cowboys. And I'm not hating.
If you think that's going to be a good game, Monday night might be one of the best games of the season. The Baltimore Ravens take a trip to New England.
No Gronk. Gronkowski.
And the Ravens have
He's done for the year.
The best defense against the run in the league.
Best rushing defense in the league.
And you know what happens whenever Baltimore plays New England? The Baltimore is like the New York Jets. When they play New England, it's always a close game, no matter what happens.
The game's in New England?
Yeah, they're playing in New England. I mean,
Still taking the Patriots.
Still, you got the
I'm
Patriots?
going with the Patriots.
This is my
I'm
upset.
going with the GOAT.
This is my upset pick of the week. Man,
Dun, dun, dun.
Man, my friend is going to hate me for saying this. He's a diehard Patriots fan. The Ravens will go into New England and pull the shocker, win in New England. They're hot right now. Baltimore's hot.
Right, I'm still going with Tom Brady. TB12, baby. My brother's proud of me right now because I'm going with the Patriots. Well, he will be when he hears this.
Yeah, for the most part, that's it with our weekly NFL predictions. Zante, got anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
Not that I know of.
We stay grinding. 1:45 in the morning.
1:45 in the morning. We out. Got a 9:40.
And that concludes Josh and Dante's podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned for next week where we talk about NFL weekly projections, football, baseball, basketball. Who knows? Yep. Stay tuned. This is Josh and Dante signing off.
Swoop!